Hi Aries, and welcome to your Messages from Heaven Timeless Tarot reading. This is quite a special tarot reading as I haven't done anything like this before really, and I've been thinking about it for a few months, and I feel like it's finally time and I'm ready for this particular reading. So I'm going to create four different channels for your loved ones to come through and bring you guys messages, okay? And this reading is the most timeless reading I've ever done because, you know, time only exists here on earth. It does not exist in the non-physical. So it doesn't really matter when you view this or when your loved one passed away. What we're creating here are channels for your loved ones' consciousnesses to come through at any point because it's all about alignment of energy, right? So, Aries, let's get right into your reading. I'm going to pull four different court cards to represent four different personalities. Now, multiple consciousnesses can, you know, stream through, but they'll be most like whatever personality comes out, okay? Okay, so we have the Queen of Coins here. This is Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn energy, or somebody whose personality really embodies a earth sign person's traits, okay? Now, this particular queen, and this could be, you know, anybody, your sister, your mom, your grandma, your daughter, your spouse, like anybody. I'm feeling with this is really strong feminine energy, so I don't feel like any like masculine personalities coming through with this, meaning like a male who is quite feminine. I don't feel that. This is very feminine to me. So this particular person was somebody who took care of everybody, but gave to the point of the detriment of herself. So she really self-sacrificed. She put everybody and their needs ahead of her own. Okay, but that doesn't mean that she wasn't wise and intelligent. This queen can give you the best practical advice about life out of anybody else in the court cards, okay? She understands, you know, the way life works in a practical sense. She's probably street smart, quite street smart, okay? The bird that is perched up there is an indication that she definitely sees the bigger picture of everything, but she was great at seeing all those fine details that the rest of us would miss, okay? But the strongest thing with this is that element of self-sacrificing for the needs of those that she loved. She may have even done some sort of like animal rescue or a lot of volunteer charity work, things along those lines. Just very, very selfless individual coming through under this energy right here. And then next we have the King of Wands, and this is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or strong personality traits of fire energy. This king, he's somebody who, you know, he definitely will help you out, but this isn't, it's a much different energy than her. He's in this position, you know, he's probably always ready for the next adventure, you know, very much in control of things, probably the big ego, some of them, very prideful, you know, things must be my way, controlling, definitely controlling, but there's not, I'm not picking up like malicious at all. It's just, this was a very, very big soul, big personality, you know, would own the entire room with their presence. Very masculine, no femininity coming through this at all. So definitely male. And what I'm saying about the king and queens, typically they represent a more mature energy, but due to the nature of this reading, any king or queen is a representation of somebody who is an adult, so like 20 years of age or older. Okay, so these to me are energies of grown individuals, and nobody who's like teens or younger. So next we have the King of Swords, and he, in this position, this is somebody who was incredibly, there's two minds with this guy, okay? Somebody who's incredibly stubborn and is like fearless, just like absolutely fearless in their pursuit, in their endeavor, you know, but also with this card, this could indicate somebody who had a lot of emotional and mental turmoil going on within them, okay, just because of the energy of this card. So this is masculine. There could be some femininity to this, so this could be male or female energy. Again, it's a king, so it's grown. But this is somebody who is like gonna face the storm head on, even though they're immortal, and believe that the storm will move through them rather than destroying them. For this person, that probably worked many times in their life, but there may have come a point where the storm actually destroyed them rather than moving through them. So this is somebody who, you know, is going to stand their ground. But in this position, you know, they could be dishonest, or they just kept a lot to themselves. Some of you, this is like really, they just had a lot of heartache and turmoil going on within them, okay? Next, we have this Page of Coins. So to me, this is definitely a young person, somebody 20 or below, no question about it, okay? The Knights can kind of go either way, but this was a very young person to me, this page here. And this was somebody who really had like promise before them, and they were pursuing that. They were very skilled in some sort of talent. And I'm not sure why they passed so young, but they're definitely like 20 or under, like college age or younger. Like we're still in school with this energy, and that we had great promise of a like golden future, and there's a lot of heartache around this passing. So let's get into this reading, because I have to pull more cards. I'm not a medium. I don't speak to dead people. The way that this works for me is just like the tarot. I sense energy, okay? And however I sense that sensing like decodes and gives me information, and that's how I understand the story. It's not so much that I'm being told, it's that I feel it, and that is how I understand. I don't know how else to express it. So that is why I have the tarot cards, because they really help the story. And look at this. I am standing next to you. This is an adult and this is a child. I really feel like this is a little bonus, and they want you to know, like, they're still with you very much. Their consciousness is still very much a part of you. Okay, so let's see. All right, this Queen of Coins says there is no such thing as death. So if you feel like you've lost her or that she is gone, No, she says, I am still here. I am energy. I am consciousness. Only my physical packaging has perished. And, you know, that is part of the earth plane experience, life and death, you know, beginning, end. But that's only here. There, in the non-physical, that's not even a concept, okay? As crazy as it is for us to think that we are a spiritual being having a physical experience, on the other side, in the knowing, it's how can you even fathom time and beginning and end that doesn't exist? So there's so much about this earth experience being physically focused that we don't understand while we're here, but once we transition, you know, it all makes sense. So this is, hey, I'm not gone at all. You just, the physicality of my consciousness is gone, but that was not me. That was just my representation of my consciousness, okay? I am very much alive, she says. So this King of Wands is telling you, we have been together in dreams. So when you dream of this person, that is their consciousness connecting with your own in the, you know, esoteric dreamscape. And, you know, if you can lucid dream at all, I would really tap into that. But any dream that you do have where this king comes to you, definitely write it down upon waking, because he's communicating with you. He's bringing you messages for sure. And this King of Swords says, I am surrounded by loving animals. So with this particular card, I don't look at this as this is the one message I just have to tell you. This is a confirmation to some of you, like looking at this card and them telling you I am surrounded by loving animals is like the golden confirmation where you're like, okay, that's you. So we will pull the next card. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid for this King of Swords and their life that they had or the passing that they had, okay? And you, don't be afraid of death. We are eternal. Oh, look at that. For the young one there, it was my time to go. This page is saying, there are no accidents in this life. Everything is truly orchestrated by divine timing, and they want you to know that. Yeah, this was a young person, and so there's definitely, you know, when a young person transitions, that's very hard because, you know, this one here had a lot of promise, like a very promising future ahead, and like, why this feels like such a waste, like why did this happen? And this page is saying that was where I exited. That's as far in this particular journey as this personality that I needed to go for what I'm working on as a soul, okay? And there are no accidents. Everything is divinely orchestrated, really strong. Wanting you to know that. So let's pull a clarifier. Wow, this is interesting because to me, the Queen of Coins and the Empress are very similar energies, only being like the Empress has more power, more significance, more magic to it, as it's a major arcana, okay? So the Queen of Coins is like a, you know, the minor arcana version of this card to me. In this particular direction opposed to being, you know, facing forward, coming out with her. She recognizes that, because I feel, for some of you, this woman, this energy, she didn't take care of herself, and because of that, I really feel that that could have been part of why she passed, like her own health, because she never put the time or energy into herself that she put into other people. So I feel like this is her recognition to you of that, that she recognizes that. Also, you know, with this, she had a good life despite what it looks like, because on this side, you know, here's the new, and on this side is the harvest, and she's letting you know that all that she put out into the universe in her life is returning to her, expanding her consciousness, and when she reincarnates, you know, she's gonna have this energy right here, this Empress energy. She has achieved that for herself, okay? And her message here is, you know, the eagle there, be wiser than I. You've got to take care of yourself too. It's not selfish to do that. And like, she understands that now. And you know, very wise, this woman. Very wise she was. Just, man. It's just, some of you, I don't know if you know that song, One Man Can Change the World by Big Sean. But he's, you know, singing about his grandma, and just what he's saying about her is the energy I feel. This doesn't have to be a grandma, but, you know, listen to that song, and I bet you will relate. It will make you think of this woman right here, because, you know, just everything he's saying, the whole song is about what she taught him, and it's definitely that, you know, you can change the world, and it's not like you're changing the world. People think of it in like the sense, but when your energy shifts and you change and you create that ripple and people jump onto that, that's, you know, a big change in the world. So she is saying one person can change the world, and for you personally, she was the one person that changed your world. And oh my God, I'm getting emotional about this. Sorry. I hate when that happens. Like, so I just have to like let it pass and trying to figure out why. That's you. It's you I'm feeling. Okay. This here, the loss of her was so great. It's like, you know, springtime's never going to come again, the loss of her. And she wants you to know, no, you know, live your life, take care of you. It's not selfish. The line in that song is my favorite. If you love yourself, you will never be alone. And that is so the truth. So she is telling you, you know, if you love yourself, even though I'm not here in the physical, as long as you love yourself, oh goodness, you will never be alone. And the more you can focus on what was good, what was oh my God, what was beautiful about me, the more I can come into your space here on the physical plane. Because, man, some of you, this is just so intense. The loss of her. Oh. So, we're going to move on, because that's just, it's really, I'm struggling, and we'll come back to this. I've got to move on. I'm really sorry for you guys. She was definitely somebody incredibly special. Holy cow. Whew. Okay, let's move on to this King of Wands. Okay, this is a good card. He is saying the end is never really the end. It's always the beginning of something new. And, you know, and the shooting star here, when you see that in the night sky, that is definitely a sign from him. And he has returned back to that place of inner child, the purity, the innocence. And, you know, that is how he sees all things playing out in the earth reality. Despite the way we see them, he sees that we are all children. And we are all here, you know, collecting our cups, collecting our lessons to move on to the next thing. And also he's saying, I will be back again. And you know what? He's, some of you, he's coming, you'll meet him again this lifetime. Look for me in the eyes of a child, he says. And some of you, you dream about this, like you already kind of know it. Wow, that's really beautiful. I like that. Thank you, Mr. King of Wands. All right. Our King of Swords is coming through as the sun on this side rather than this side. So with don't be afraid, I think some of you, without this person, or just maybe even in general, just your life, like you have a lot of fears and insecurities and you're feeling really alone. And, you know, he's saying don't not be afraid. You know, the sun will always shine again. Please believe that, okay? Because this is the other side of that card. And he wants you to know that, yes, maybe he was living in the darkness, you know, mental and emotional turmoil, but now as he's transitioned, now he is in the sun, okay? And he does not want you to fear, and much like this King of Wands, he has returned to that inner self, that, you know, our inner child, and he's at peace. So do not be afraid for him, do not worry for him, and more to the point, don't be afraid of your own life. You really have nothing to fear. I don't know why does he want you to know that? What are you afraid of? Like, what's really bothering you? Because he's saying, no, you don't need to worry about that. Don't worry about it. All right, so Page of Coins is coming through as the Death card. This to me is an indication of the incredible shock and unexpectedness. There's just a lot of heavy emotions, you know, surrounding the passing here. But also with this, I feel it's reiterating it was my time to go, okay? Because this is the actual Death card right here. And on the other side of this, you know, this is, we're coming back, but on this side, I don't know, this might have been an extremely wise soul, okay? And maybe this is like, I don't need to come back to the earth plane, period. I've achieved what I came here for. Like, I got that final pinnacle so that I graduate, so that I can transition to another experience. And I don't know, I feel like for some that this Page of Pentacles is telling you, I'm an ascended soul. I ascended. I'm done with earth. I don't need to be here any longer. I achieved everything over so many lifetimes, many shared with you, but many that were not shared with you. And Yeah, I really feel like this is an ascended soul right here. All right, so let's pull some more messages. I feel so much more composed. I'm scared to come back to our Queen of Coins over here. Whew. I'm standing next to you. You know what? Honestly, I just got chills. I think that is her saying that to me. She is definitely the strongest energy coming through, and she's like, nope, this is my show. This is my show. And she's letting me feel you guys, and it was really hard for me to get through that. So let's see. Oh, look at this. This is why we hurt so bad, isn't it? This is why I want to like cry like a little baby. It's not your fault. Her passing, her choices, it's not your fault. You know, she's saying there's nothing you could have done different. You did not need to be there more for me than you were, because you see this figure way off in the distance. It's like for some of you, you weren't there. You weren't there as much as you think you should have been, or you weren't there right at the end, you know, or you feel like there's more you should have done or could have done, or if you had only known XYZ, that type of energy. And she's saying there is no need or reason for that. It is not your fault. All things are divinely orchestrated, and it was my time to go, and I was ready to go. Okay. This King of Wands. I was met by so many loving people. So this is him saying many of my soulmates, my soul family that are in the non-physical, I was greeted by them, and that's where I'm at now. That's what I'm doing at this time, and we are planning my next incarnation. Here's this King of Swords saying, there is no time where I am. Time is only on earth. This has to play into this, you know, letting go of fear and not being afraid. Maybe, you know, if you are nervous about, like, when you're going to die, or that you don't have enough time, or that you didn't have enough time with that King of Swords, you know, he's saying, don't worry about it. Time only exists here. I had plenty of time in this life. I had plenty of experiences, and you will have plenty of time and plenty of experiences in this life as well. But more to the point, time is really irrelevant, because once you transition back into the non-physical, you will recognize that time is something that only exists in the earth plane. Okay. And our little Page of Pentacles. It is beautiful where I am. Definitely an ascended soul that has gone on to bigger things, has bigger fish to fry than being a silly old human. So rest your heart about this Page of Pentacles. So I'm going to pull some more cards for each energy that's coming through. I'm going to draw from 2 decks, so I will reveal them together. Just thinking about our Queen of Coins over here. Okay, let's see what she has to say. Nature and slow down. Wow. This is wild because in another reading, I think, was it Pisces? These two exact cards came out together. So, whoa. This, but I don't think it came through like a water energy. Crazy. Anyways, she is telling you, you know, don't try to force life. Let life happen. Slow down. Enjoy it. Let nature take its course in all things, especially in matters of the heart and love. You know, don't ever try to force it. Just let everything be what it is. When you are excited, you get ahead of yourself. Take some time to allow things to unfold naturally. So she's saying, slow your roll, baby, slow your roll. Let things unfold. Live your life. Enjoy every moment. Don't rush through it. It's not worth it. So, you know, apply this to whatever's going on in your life right now, because she's being a bit stern about it, actually. She's like, no, you got to let things happen as they happen. You know that. So, very nice. Okay, so this King of Wands says hope and romance. Lavish the one that you love with your personal attention and affection. So, some of you out there, this was either your partner that transitioned before you, or this is some sort of male dominant force that was in your life, like father, grandfather, uncle, cousin, brother, maybe. And you are, you know, when it comes to romance, your romantic life, like you might be feeling kind of lost or a mess. So whether that's your spouse that has passed or a different male figure that was in your life, he's saying do not lose hope in regards to love and romance. You know, love the one that you're with your heart and soul. Or if there's nobody there right now, there is something special on the horizon for you, and he can see that, and he doesn't want you to lose hope of that. Okay, so also for those of you that this is like your partner that has passed, okay, and he's here we are with this new beginning. I can't say that this was like, I don't feel like this, I no, it doesn't feel like twin flame to me, because I feel like he's coming back. I don't know, he's coming back, but he says he sees your one, he sees your twin flame, okay, like he sees that, and he doesn't want you to lose hope about it. So, you know, if this was a spouse that passed on, it was not your twin flame, it wasn't. He is saying there's somebody else for you, okay? But for others of you, this masculine figure is coming back. It is reincarnating. And, you know, look into the eyes of the child and you will know it is me. Okay, and our Knight of Swords, it says expression and demonstrate love. Find out what is important to the people you love and act on it. Oh my gosh. I think he's saying that he did not express himself nearly enough, what you meant to him, how much he really loved you, and showing that as well. Also, with expression here, for those of you where it resonated that, you know, there was a lot of emotional or mental turmoil going on inside of this person. He's telling you, don't be like me. You need to express how you're feeling, but you should always choose love, especially those who are closest to you. You know, don't hurt them. Find out what is important to them, what matters to them, and act on that. Do those things. you know, because I feel like this person, like they weren't good at this right here, at expressing their feelings of love, or their feelings, any positive feelings really. Maybe they were just fine at expressing the negative ones, but when it came to the positive emotions, that just did not happen. So he's saying, listen, don't be like me. Don't hold it all in. Express yourself and always choose love. And those you love, let them know. Let them know it. Okay, so let's see what our little ascended soul over here has to say. Shadow self. And look at your pattern in relationships. It requires inner strength to recognize that you need to change or modify your behavior. Wow. And you see this goddess, she's holding up this mirror of some kind, and there's like a little baby angel in there. Oh my goodness. So this little ascended soul is saying to you, face your shadow self, face that darkness. Do not be afraid of it, because there's patterns in your life that need improvement so that the overall experience that you have can be so much more improved. Very interesting that that's the advice being offered, but this is really, well, I guess I'm not surprised if that's an ascended soul. Of course, we're going to be wise, right? And say, you need to do some shadow work. You need to completely take accountability and responsibility for yourself, your actions, your choices, your thoughts, your emotions. That's really what he's saying here, but not in like a negative way. It's like this, I see you from the non-physical, and this, if you fix this, that's what will improve everything else in your human experience. So, apply this how it fits to you. That's just very interesting that is, what he chose. But, okay. So, I'm going to pull some earth wisdom to give you some advice about healing and how to move forward if you're still really hurting about your loved one. Yeah, look at that. Heal thyself flew out. Many of you are really struggling still with the passing of these loved ones. So let's see what their advice to you guys is in regards to the healing process. What will help you? All right, so our beautiful Queen of Coins here, it says to you, yes, I have gone to the light. That is where I reside. That is where I vibrate. Heaven. To me, we humanize the non-physical by heaven, hell, light and dark, all of that. And this is her letting you know that all things are divine, all things are spiritual. She could definitely see that now, and she is one with the light. So, in heaven, for a relatable term. So she wants you to know that, then that is where she is, and she's just fine with that. And again, it's not your fault. Let the divine light heal your heart, because the more you vibrate in a place of remembering her in love, in laughter, and all the positive things she brought into your life, you create the space for her consciousness to come in, because she's transitioned back to non-physical, so she's a very high vibrating being at this point. So you have to elevate yourself to open your heart up so that she could come in and you could feel her, you could feel that vibration strongly, okay? And maybe even feel some communication from her. But she's saying, let the divine light heal you. the Knight of Wands, practical intuition. Um, he's telling you that you have a gift, my friend. You have ability and you need to take it to the next level. And he's really trying to help you with that. Before, as he's in the non-physical, and then when he reincarnates, I feel like that child, something about that child is also, maybe he's reincarnating with some gift, and the two of you, like, you already have it, and you're gonna help him develop it, something like that. This is about spiritual gifts, like you having them and then him reincarnating as a child, and now you teaching him when originally he's the one that taught you, type of energy. Really awesome with this. I like this. Also, he's saying you can have direct communication with your intuition with him, even if you're not a medium, okay? You'll be able to feel him the way I feel energy and understand, what he's trying to express to you. This Knight of Swords, or King of Swords, wow. So he's bringing out boundaries. And this is saying that you've got to create boundaries between yourself and others for your own well-being and safety. Also, again, this, don't be like me. Don't completely segregate yourself and cut yourself off and keep everything locked inside. Create healthy boundaries, but always express how you truly feel. Never, ever keep that hidden. And if somebody cannot honor and respect you and your boundaries, then maybe it's better to let them go out of your life, okay? Follow, don't make the same mistakes I made, is what he says. Like, don't follow me. Don't follow my way. Whoa. And then look at this. This page here. Shadow self. Look at the patterns in your relationship. And now he's bringing you responsibility. I just thought I would pull the next card just because, wow. So this is a reiteration, and he is saying, if you take the advice he has offered you here, it builds a bridge, okay? It builds a bridge between your heart and somebody else. And look at these faces here. There's some relationships in your life that I feel can be mended 100%. And that's what this page is really pushing you towards, is your healing comes from the mending of these broken relationships in your life. And it's not about blame. It's about taking responsibility for who we are and, forgiving the person that may have harmed you, forgiving them, the soul that exists within them. You don't need to forgive the behavior, but forgive the soul that exists within, this human here. And I don't know, this page is saying you're healing. Please reconnect, build a bridge. Don't segregate yourself from anybody in your sorrow and your heartache and your pain. You are meant to mend these relationships, and I am shining on you and blessing this healing and this reconnection, okay? But, he's really talking about responsibility. He or she, sorry, I keep calling it a he, is talking about taking responsibility for whatever that means for you, okay? So, Aries, those are the messages that came through for you guys. It was truly an honor to be able to do this, and so I thank you so much for allowing me to bring you these messages, and I thank everybody who has joined us and made this reading possible. And now I close this session with your passed on loved ones, and Aries, I close this session with you as well, and I send you with lots of love, light, and healing. Take care.